Happy Sunday, guys. It's CJ, and we are here to talk about episode 5 of Real Housewives of Atlanta. But before we get started, as always, make sure that you like this video. And as always, feel free to comment throughout the video, respectively, of course. And also subscribe. I have not been really reviewing this, I guess, franchise or this part of the franchise because it honestly has not been that interesting to me. It got a slow start, but I think that things are going to pick up. So I will start reviewing it. And with that being said, we'll go ahead and get started. Now, the episode starts. This is the chill engagement party episode. But before we get started with the event, of course, there's always the lead up to the event. So we'll talk about that. We start with Kenya. She's at the venue with the coordinator and the event planner, and they're getting things together. It's a really white theme. She wants everybody to wear white. There's a big ice sculpture that's going to be in the middle of the venue, or as you come into the door. Snow, and I guess it's gonna look almost like a winter wonderland, so to speak. But nonetheless, since King is throwing it, I'm pretty sure it'll be a very classy event. Now, Candy and Mama Joyce are back home, and they're having to teach Riley how to clean. I guess growing up, Riley really hasn't had to clean. She's had people to do it for her, I suppose. And so her mom and grandma are kind of showing her, since she'll be up at NYU on her own, and they want her to know how to do the simple stuff like clean your house. So they're showing her how to clean the bathroom, and little Ace is there with his cute self, and he's trying to help her clean. He's trying to do it for her, really. And so she was letting them, but they're like, no, you got to do it because he's not going to be living with you. This is going to be your deal. So anyway, it was really cute. And then we see Cynthia. Now she's out meeting LaToya and Kenya at a lingerie shop. This is one of those scenes where they get together and they're meeting at a lingerie shop. And Cynthia brings up how Kenya doesn't seem to be able to do anything these days without LaToya. And Cynthia also said that Kenya better be glad that she's not the jealous type, because she would normally feel some kind of way about her having somebody always around. But nonetheless, I think Kenya really has taken a liking to LaToya, obviously, and they kind of have this flirtatious relationship. I think she is able to kind of live vicariously through LaToya. I guess LaToya is the younger version of herself, and she just likes everything that LaToya represents. But anyway, Kenya, she really does seem to enjoy her, and she's able to be a little more wild and free around LaToya. So I think that's something else that is kind of refreshing to her. It's just kind of a change of pace. Now, they start to talk about this party, and we all know that Kenya asked Candy to say that she was throwing the party because it may not have gone over as well with the other ladies outside of Cynthia, like maybe Portia, Marlo, or Tanya. They may not have shown up if they knew that Kenya was throwing this party. So she wanted Candy to be the face of the party, and I guess she would reveal to them later that it was really her and her idea. But anyway, she talks about somebody started a rumor, because I think Shamia wasn't going to be able to make it, but a rumor was started through like the text, like the group text, that Joe Biden was going to be there. Now, this would have normally prompted most people to A, want to be on time, and B, want to look their best, because you're in the presence of who at that time was just the presidential candidate. But now he is the upcoming president of the United States. Well, he is the president of the United States as far as I'm concerned right now. But that's another story for another day. And they because we know these girls are notoriously late for everything. So they were hoping that this could be an opportunity for them to be on time. So they kind of started the Joe Biden rumor. Now, Kenya, she is still kind of salty about being uninvited to Portia's surprise party the following week, or it might have been days or whatever. But she was still salty about that. She did not feel like Lauren should have uninvited her. And so we can tell because she was just kind of throwing little shots, and we'll see that upcoming at the actual engagement party. Now we go to Portia's house and she's preparing a salad because we know Portia has kind of been on this struggle with whether she wants to be vegan or not vegan. And so right now she's vegan. So she's at home preparing a salad. Lauren comes in with a box of hot dogs from Varsity. And, Portia was feeling a kind of way about that because her ex-fiance is the hot dog king of Atlanta, or whatever they call him, at the hot dog factory. And so she feels like she was being a traitor and blase, blase. And she even says that because she is vegan, that Dennis put a vegan dog on the menu at the hot dog factory. And so she says she might have her assistant slide through there and pick her one up, kind of being shady about it or whatever. But it was all cute. Now, she tells Lauren that Kenya sent a Rosa Parks doll, which was really appropriate for the occasion of the party. She gave baby PJ a Rosa Parks doll, which made Lauren feel a little bad about uninviting her to the party. But Portia was like, don't worry about it. What you need to feel bad for? She'll be all right. But Lauren did feel a little bad. And Portia talks about how she wanted to write a book or a platform or something about depression and how, abuse and other, relationship issues that women can overcome, because she has overcome a lot of those things dealing with Cordell in the past. I'm not sure about her other relationships. And her relationships, I guess, with the men in her life. And that's kind of a segue that led them to start talking about her and Lauren's dad. We get a little glimpse, and we knew, but they talk about how she and Lauren are half sisters. They have the same dad, but different moms. And Portia felt a little way growing up because she would be at home with her mom and she had like a sense of wholeness there. And then she would go to her dad's, I guess, when it was time for him to have her, and they had their family over there, which also felt like it could be whole. So that left a lot of confusion in Portia's life growing up. And yet you had Lauren here who had, her mom and her dad right there under one roof in one house. They talked about how her dad would kiss Lauren on the head every day before he left, and they were pretty much inseparable. He had Lauren everywhere he went. He took her everywhere. And this kind of made Portia feel away, and Portia did get emotional and she started crying, as I could understand, because I am a daddy's girl and I had that kind of relationship with my dad. My dad, wherever you saw him, you saw me growing up. Of course, not now. I have my own life, my own family to look after, and he lives far, far away. But I know I can still call him and he'll be right there. And her dad passed away, so that was another thing that she felt that was a void in her life. And she doesn't really know if because of that caused her to have the relationships that she had growing, further with her ex-husband, her baby daddy now, fiance, ex-fiance, on and off again, whatever he is. But she wants her daughter and her daughter's father to have that relationship at all costs. And she also feels like that's probably a reason that she is on and off again with Dennis, because we know 1 minute they're together and 1 minute they're not. But she just wants him to be a constant part of Pilar's life growing up, as to be understood. I mean, you can't fault her for that. But we go on, and now it's the day of the engagement party, and Kenya is there first, of course, and she's meeting with the coordinator, and it's beautiful. It, like I said, it was just this white winter wonderland, big, beautiful hashtag chill sculpture. As soon as you walk in, they had the giant light bulb lit letters as you come in, and it was really nice, and it was something really sweet for her to honor her friend and her fiance. Now, everybody has been tested beforehand, because we do know that these are very, COVID sensitive times. And so we were wondering about that. And she does let us know, the world out here know, that yes, everybody has been tested prior to this event. So they don't have to wear masks, because she feels like that would just be atrocious, that everybody's sitting there wearing a mask, and it's a small enough, intimate crowd where they should be safe. Now, she says that her goal is to get tears from Cynthia. She wants Cynthia to come in and be completely wowed and amazed at what she has done. Now, we see Cynthia, she and Mike are at home, and they're getting dressed, and they are really, really convinced that Joe Biden is going to be at this event. And it is just so funny, because they want to look their best. They want to be there on time, because they want to meet Vice President Joe Biden. Now, we also see Cynthia, she was talking to Portia. They were FaceTiming, and Portia didn't have her wig on. She had her wig cap melted down, it looked like, and she made it sound like she was going to be on time, but we know Portia wasn't going to be on time, but we'll get to that in a minute. Now, the other ladies, everybody's getting ready, and they are really making it a point to be there. They wanted to the goal was to beat Cynthia and Mike there, so that when they come in, they'll see everything and they can all say surprise. But it didn't happen, because we see, Tanya was on time. And then she was kind of shocked that Candy wasn't on time for her own event, because at this point, nobody knows that this is the engagement party. They are still thinking that this is Candy's event that she's throwing, that the president-elect is going to be at. But anyway, Kenya does spill the beans to Tanya, and she lets her know, yeah, this was not Candy's party. I actually was throwing a surprise engagement party for Mike and Cynthia. And Tanya was like, okay, well, I see, you were kind of slick about it. And Tanya is a brilliant woman, and she's smart, and she knew, okay, well, she probably knew that if this was just something that she was throwing, that we probably would have been less inclined to come. But you say it's for Candy, everybody loves Candy, so yeah, we were going to show up. But anyway, and I'm noticing, like, we don't see a lot of Tanya, and this, I don't know if, this has everything to do with the fact that Tanya did quit the show after this season because of the whole Strippergate deal that they'll show us, and they're probably going to beat us over the head with, just like the fight in Potomac. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there, because I'm sure we'll talk about that enough. So Candy and Todd, they arrive, and they arrive shortly before Mike and Cynthia. When Mike and Cynthia get there, they come in the door just like normal people. They come in, they're looking for Joe Biden, because that was their main reason in coming. They probably didn't really want to come, but they thought Joe Biden was going to be there, so they were like, we got to be there. So they come strolling in, walk past all the nice decorations in the front. They don't have a clue of what's going on, so everybody's kind of looking at them like, damn, y'all gonna say something about what's happening? So they're like, what? I mean, they're like legit confused. And so everybody yells out, this is an engagement party for y'all, surprise. And so then when they did actually look around and see everything, they were shocked. They were genuinely shocked at that point. But the first entrance was just like a complete fail, but it was funny enough to watch. So they come in, and, the party's going on, and everybody seems to be having a really, really good time. And Cynthia kind of pulls Kenya off to the side. They're sitting and talking. They're drinking like some signature chill cocktail. It looks like Kenya had created for the party, which was cute. Some martinis probably. And Cynthia asks Kenya if she would be one of her bridesmaids. Shout out to Nene Leaks. And Kenya, of course, is very thrilled. I'm thinking Kenya probably thought she was going to ask her to be her maid of honor, which was not going to happen. She had a whole sister that if somebody was going to be that, I'm sure it would have been Mal. But anyway, she was very, shocked, and she was appreciative, happy, and she said yes. And so they, were happy about that. And she feels like Kenya has redeemed herself, considering that she nearly ruined the engagement when Mike was proposing to Cynthia. So anyway, the party's going on. They're having a real good time. Marlo kind of slid in at some point. We saw Marlo come in, and the Cynthia, she originally didn't want bridesmaids, and she just wanted an intimate. It was just going to be about she and Mike, and she decided that she did want to have her girls by her side, and she wanted Candy to also be a bridesmaid. So Kenya was on stage kind of giving a speech to Mike and Cynthia when Portia came bouncing in 52 minutes late, almost an hour late for this event. And of course, we knew that irritated the hell out of Kenya. So she was already kind of put off by that. So she, of course, threw shade about that. And then Portia, since she was late to the party, she's trying to figure out what's going on. And she was being a little interruptive. And so Kenya was just like burned by that. She was so mad. And she don't like Portia anyway, as we know. And then she was super salty because she got uninvited to Portia's party. So we knew this was just going to be just sprinkling gasoline on Kenya's fire. And so Portia was still thinking that Joe Biden was going to be there. And she was so loud. She was like, wait, Joe Biden not going to be here? And this was like during Kenya's speech. And Kenya is like, oh my God, would you shut up? But like, it was just too cute. It was funny to me. And we got Candy up there serenading them with a I Just Want to Chill song. I guess those were the only words. I just want to chill with you or something. Those were the only words. I didn't take time to learn the song, but she kept saying that over and over and over and over and over and over. And then we got Portia. She came in with her ad libs, and it was horrible, but it was cute enough. But anyway, then it gets a little inappropriate at this point. They're sitting at the table getting ready to eat, and Mike is getting kind of weirded out because Portia started talking about how Cynthia should go vegan because it has done something to her sex drive or her sex life, switch it over. And Cynthia was like, well, we don't have any problems, in the sex department because we know she and Mike gets it in for sure. But anyway, LaToya shows up, and LaToya was like an hour and something late. I didn't even clock her time, but I saw the 1 hour and it was some minutes or whatever. But she comes in. Kenya was happy to see her. Kenya wasn't upset about her being late, but she was very pissed about Portia being late. And it could just be because, I guess LaToya isn't as close to Cynthia as Portia is, or the fact that she loves LaToya and she hates Portia. That could be the main reason. Anyway, she shows up and she just breaks out her phone asking, them, with Todd and Mike being at the table, 2 men, asking them if they got a chance to see her sexy picture, Kenya's sexy picture. And she takes out this picture on her phone and she starts like showing them like her nudes with these 2 men at the table. And I just thought that was very foul. I thought it was inappropriate. Maybe I'm just reading too much into it, but I wouldn't want anybody showing any kind of naked woman to anything that my man is sitting at a table with. But it's just me. And Kenya was happy about it. She wasn't embarrassed. She was loud and proud about it. And so Marlo asked LaToya, oh, so because Latoya said Kenya's body is golden and this and that. And so Marlo wanted to know if Latoya was going to get her butt done also. So this sparks an argument at the table. They start going back and forth. And she was like, that's why I shouldn't have invited you. That's why you shouldn't have been invited, because we know Kenya hates Marlo. They got this weird relationship. Marlo will throw shade at anybody, but I'm not really sure if she hates anybody. Marlo just knows she needs to shade people to stay on the show. And Kenya, if she hates you, she hates you. And I really do think that she hates Marlo because of Marlo's relationship with Nene and so on and so forth. But anyway, that conversation just went left, and they kind of, Candy was able to kind of calm the ladies down, and they changed subjects. And Kenya starts talking about there are 3 women at the table who could definitely get it. And I'm like, when did Kenya become a lesbian or start having these, bi-curious thoughts or whatever? But anyway, she says, I believe it was Latoya, Candy, and Cynthia. I think those were the 3 ladies, because she made sure to point out that it wasn't Portia. Portia didn't make the list, and I don't think Portia gave a damn, but she made sure to point that out. And so Kenya asked Portia if she received her gift that she sent to the party. And Portia said, yeah, she thanked her for it. It was really thoughtful. And she says, yeah, you're welcome. I would have preferred to give it to you in person, meaning that she was still mad about not being invited to the party. And Portia let her know, well, I understand that, but Lauren wasn't quite sure if you and I were cool, if we liked each other. So she didn't want to chance it. And so she says, yeah, well, blame it on Lauren, which it was Lauren, because it was a surprise party. If Portia didn't know anything about it, how could Portia tell her who not to invite to a party that she doesn't know anything about? But anyway, so Kenya doesn't seem to understand that, and she's still yapping about it, which proves Lauren's point. Portia says, this further proves Lauren's reasoning for not inviting you. And that was just that. So now it's Riley. Riley's getting ready to go off to school. This is moving day. And Candy is in her feelings because I guess they're only going to have a short time to unload her and get her moved in. I think 2 hours, she said. And also, she's not going to be there when Riley turns 18. Riley's 18th birthday, I guess, will be in a few days, and they're not going to be there to spend it with her. So she is really, really in her feelings about that. Now, Ace, he got me a little teary-eyed because, of course, he wanted to go with his sister. He wanted his sister, and of course, he couldn't go. They're going to be moving, and they need all hands on deck, so the kids had to stay behind. And so he starts crying, and it gets Candy a little emotional. She doesn't cry, though. I'm shocked. She didn't cry. And they're like, Riley, we got to go. Riley comes downstairs. She's like, I want to take a picture first. And so as they're taking their picture, we literally see a flashback of Riley literally growing before our eyes. She was a very, very small girl when they first joined the cast. And now she is a young woman, soon to be 18. And has graduated high school and is off to college. So congratulations to Riley. That's really dope. Now they get on the road, and they got this really nice little party bus almost that's going to take them there. And they got the tiny U-Haul in the back with her things. And then they still got to send her more things later. But that's where this episode ends. If I forgot anything, if y'all want to talk about anything, drop it down in the comments below. And I do try to respond to everybody that comments, just because I'm grateful for the comments, and I do like to engage with anybody who wants to take the time out to talk to me. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching, and I will catch y'all in the next video, and have a great upcoming week. Bye.